everyone, welcome in. My name is Devin, and I'm the creator of Mind Over Mata and decided to start a podcast called Canvas and Conversations. So, welcome in. I'm super excited to get started. This is the very first episode, so thank you so much for being here. And I just want to point out real quick that I am recording this outside, so I apologize for any outside sounds that might creep in. I have no control over, but I figured it would be nice to start off the podcast by being outside and soaking up the sun and taking in all the natural sounds of the outside world. It creates some creativity, maybe inspiration. Brought my book. I'm sitting on a little picnic blanket and just relaxing, taking it all in. So thanks so much for being here while I record this first episode. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous, but I figure the more that I do this, the better I'll get. So bear with me on the next couple episodes. But yeah, let's jump right into it on what this podcast is going to be about. So I'm going to have 4 different types of episodes. One type being a more of a deep dive on blog posts. I figured I talked a little bit about it on the post itself, but maybe have the opportunity to go a little bit further in on the detail behind the scenes, why I chose the subject, maybe a personal note on the matter, and just talk a little bit more about it and get us talking about subjects that might not always be covered, in regular day-to-day chit-chat. So that's going to be one of the episode types. Another episode type is going to be more of a reflection audio log for myself. And it's going to be jumping a little further into my projects and my personal experience, things I've learned, hurdles I've accomplished and gotten over, and things maybe I'm still going through, and my thought process behind them, and what actions I'm going to take to accomplish said goal. So I hope that it helps you as well as it helps me. And so, along with that, the third episode type is going to be somewhat of a creative meditation, if you will. I've seen other types of meditations, one's for driving, one's for sleeping, one's for walking. But to be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of creative meditation ones, so I'm going to try to create that for myself and doing art prompts, exercises, and stuff. And I thought it would be a great time to include you guys in it. So I hope it helps you guys as well. And I'm excited to start that episode type just because I want to avoid artist block as much as possible, and I want to keep the creative spark alive. So let's get, started on that right away. And you'll have to let me know what you think of that episode type because I was pretty excited about it. And last but not least, actually, the one that I'm most excited about out of all of the episode types is the special guest interview. Each month, I'd like to sit down with another creative and talk about their story and how they create their goals, things that they've learned, and just kind of go further into creating this big art community and showing that you don't have to be perfect. We create to relieve stress, to express ourselves, and to, be happy and somewhat of a therapeutic outlet. So I want to show that you don't have to be a pro, doesn't matter the art skill or level or medium, as long as we're all creating and having fun and playful. And I mean, sometimes it might be emotional, but at least we get our emotions out on paper and talking about it. So I hope all these episode types help some sort of creative in some sort of fashion. That's the goal here, is to create a community of artists and creatives of all types, and just to enjoy ourselves and learn some things along the way, maybe about art and maybe about ourselves. So I can't wait to get started on this journey. I've had a podcast before, but it was never specifically about art. So this one will be. It's, my passion, and I want to talk about art as much as possible. So this is a great avenue to do that. And, as far as the interviews go, I can't wait to meet new creatives and new people, make new friends. And on that note, if you're, interested in being interviewed and telling your story as a creative, go ahead and shoot me an email. Devin at mindovermatastudio.com. Introduce yourself, tell me a little about yourself, and we'll get it planned so we can meet. And of course, some of these interviews, aren't going to be in person, they're going to be online, but it'd still be great to make a new creative art friend and talk more about art. So feel free to throw me an email, and I can't wait to meet you and get that interview scheduled. I will be posting every Friday, and this next episode that I'm going to be posting is going to be kind of like a introduction about me. My name is Devin, but you don't know much about me and who I am, so I want to kind of clear the air or break the ice or have little sayings that there are to introduce myself and show you guys a little bit about me and who I am and my journey as a creative. And I hope that it helps you better understand who I am. And obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I'd love to meet you. I'd love to chit chat. So I'm gonna call it there for the very first episode. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And if you're interested in this podcast, please subscribe and follow so you get the notifications of when a new episode is posted. And as I kind of mentioned, next week's is going to be about myself, just kind of a little bit of an introduction so you can get to know me better. And then we'll move forward with the 4 episode types I mentioned. So let's get started and let's grow this art community. Thanks so much. And I hope you have a great day, great week, great month, all of the above. And I hope it is while creating.